Over there, it's time. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I am going to call the meeting to order, this regular meeting of council at 6:30 p.m. The town of Smithers acknowledges the Gidim clan and the Wet'suwet'en people on whose unceded traditional territory we live, work, and play. And the public is notified that this meeting is being webcast, a notice of which is on the bulletin board outside these chambers. Council, we have agenda, no supplemental. Motion to approve. Councillor Raven, Councillor Elliott. All in favor? Any opposed? And that is carried. We have one delegation. Somehow it just seems fitting. So I'm going to welcome the representatives from the Smithers Art Gallery up, and we'll happy to hear from you. Nice to see you here in these chambers. I think you remember the drill. So if you press the button, your light is red and you're on.
I remember the drill. Thank you. And good evening, Mayor Attrell and councillors and staff. I think everyone here knows me, but I'll introduce myself just in case. I'm Nicole Chernish, and I'm here today representing the Smithers Art Gallery. And sitting next to me is Jenna Savage, and she will be taking over as gallery manager. First off, I just want to say thank you. Oh my gosh, I'm emotional. Okay, the first time I was here, I was emotional too, but I was a little terrified. Now I'm emotional because you all have truly touched my heart and made me feel very welcome and very, you've just been so open and welcoming. I just thank you so much. So I want to say thank you for hearing me, not only as a delegation at this meeting, but at the many meetings, delegations, and presentations that I've made before you over the last 7 years. As a nonprofit organization providing recreational opportunities to our community, I'm very grateful for the opportunity to present information that impacts the town and the surrounding district. The town has been supportive of the gallery and our programming through grant and aid and the use of a town building to host our visual arts programming. While we feel the support, the loss of space at 3866 Railway Avenue has been a huge loss to the gallery and our workshop participants. We began our lease on Railway Avenue in 2018, and over the years, we were able to grow programming by almost 400%. That is such a large number that it doesn't seem real, but it is, because prior to having this workshop space, the gallery could not offer any after-school programming for children and youth, and we were only able to host 2 weeks of summer camp each year. At that time, we also held 8 to 10 adult courses per year. Comparatively, we had 17 summer camps this year, 2 spring break camps, 17 after-school sessions, and 14 single-day workshops for children and youth. We also held 24 workshops for adults, and last year we had a wait list for 13 of our workshops. This phenomenal growth in community programming was only possible because of the dedicated workshop space that was provided by the town at $1 a year. With our lease not being renewed at 3866 Railway Avenue with the town, we have found an alternate space to host workshops for the next 3 years. However, it is 1/3 of the size and has added about $15,000 in expenses to our already tight budget. We are working extremely hard to find new corporate sponsors to meet this new expense so that we can keep costs reasonable for our community. With the smaller space, we will be able to meet most of our programming needs, other than some summer camps, because those run concurrently, and with only 1 room, we just won't be able to offer that level of programming. While we're pleased to continue to have space to host visual arts programming, this rental space is not a permanent solution to meet the needs of our community. As a former partner with the town of Smithers and Smithers Public Library in the quest for a new library gallery space, we are absolutely thrilled to hear that the library's needs are going to be met with a space in the current Heartstrings building. We understand that the current library building will undergo a fulsome evaluation and inspection to determine if it can be revitalized into community space. We also understand that there will be an in-depth public consultation to determine the best use for the space, if it is possible to have it renovated. So my last inquiry ask for this council, as manager of the Smithers Art Gallery, is to express the gallery's interest in the Smithers Library building as our new creation station. As an organization with a proven track record, providing much utilized and requested recreation programming, we would ensure ongoing use and capacity building. With the larger space, we can continue to dream big dreams, some that are highly requested and others that require not only space, but fabulous collaborative opportunities. Perhaps a community kiln and pottery studio, a carving shed, increased youth programming in collaboration with other organizations. The gallery has shown our ability to grow visual arts programming, work with other organizations and institutions to meet community needs, and create opportunities for children, youth, and adults of all ages. We understand you cannot make any promises about the future of the building before inspection or before the consultation process. What the gallery is asking for is thoughtful consideration early in this process so that we are part of the conversation right from the beginning of this evaluation on the town's library building. If the building is not able to be revitalized, we would also like to open the process identified by David Schroeder, Community Partnership Strategy. I think it's 0550-20. Yeah, yay, close. To start identifying some common goals for building a new creation station space on a town-owned property. We are so passionate about providing opportunities for everyone in our community to participate in visual arts programming, and we want to ensure we have a long-term strategy in place to make this happen. We know this council is just as passionate to provide the community with recreation opportunities. I believe this passion is where our goals meet. While I won't be the person following up on these potential projects, know that I'll be cheering on the gallery and the town as you continue to work for the betterment of Smithers and rural district residents. I've so enjoyed all of our conversations and all of the time here and all the dreaming over the years. My heart's going to be with you. Thank you. Oh, I forgot one thing. Can I say one more thing? In terms of revitalization of a building, as an arts organization, we have access to grants for renovation or building new spaces through the BC Arts Council Infrastructure Grant Program, renovation funds through Heritage Canada, renovation or building funds through Cultural Spaces, NDIT, and either building or renovation with BC Gaming. Now I'm done. Thank you.
Thanks. Well, I was glad you had one more thing because I was actually starting to get a bit teary and you just gave me time to collect my thoughts here. So thank you. Thanks for bringing Jenna. Nice to meet you. And we'll look forward to hearing from you in the future. I don't think I have any questions, Nicole. I have some comments, but I'll look to the table first. So thank you. If anyone has any questions or comments. Councillor Raven.
Just a comment. It has been one of my biggest honors to be council liaison to the art gallery. And I'd like to thank you for your time and dedicated service. And I swear I'm not going to cry, but I do wish you all the best. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. But it's you've left an incredible impact, and it's a legacy that will be felt for years to come in our arts community.
Councillor Buikema.
Yeah, I'd also like to thank you for your many years of faithful service to our town. And I kind of like it that on your way out the door, you're already thinking long-term solutions to a potential replacement for the creation station. I think that's great. Thank you.
Councillor Patterson.
Thank you so much, Your Worship. So I just want to say congratulations on your next chapter. And it's so good to see you. I'm so excited for your new role. Just a question about the creation station. And I can't help but think in the back of my mind about the lack of childcare supports or youth supports in our community. So I was just curious if you could speak a little bit about the creation station, and that is it year-round programming? And does the gallery have a vision for what sort of, when you talk about dreaming big, what that might look like?
Yeah, I mean, the programming that we run is year round. We take a break usually for adult programming over the summer months, just because everyone wants to be out gardening or at the lake or doing any of those kinds of things. But when we have special people come through the town offering things that we can't get at other times of year, we certainly offer programming for adults in the summer as well. But otherwise, yes, we run year-round programming. And for sure, childcare is such a huge thing this year. That's why we had 17 programs this year, is we actually opened up a program specifically for 5- and 6-year-olds so that we could address that need. We had people asking if we could provide some of that. So we try and listen to what is needed in the community and respond to that. Long-term planning is really hard when you don't have a space. But that is something that is on the list of where do we go? How do we make this work? It was a big shift for us when we lost the space at Railway, because there were 2 larger rooms. We could run things concurrently. We could start dreaming about that and thinking about, oh, could we put a second floor on this? Could we accommodate a community kiln out the back? So we have, I would say probably every month or 2, I have someone coming to me and saying, why don't we have a community kiln here? The other thing that, of course, I'm always passionate about incorporating more diversity into the space and accessibility. And so the idea of having a carving shed and working with either the Friendship Center or the OW or someone to look at how can we meet some needs of carvers. We certainly have seen that. We did an artist residency this past summer and had James Madam in, and he was carving in the space, and it was such a fabulous opportunity for him. He said when he's at home and he's trying to do art, he's constantly interrupted with someone needing a ride or asking if he can take them grocery shopping or whatever it might be. And having a dedicated space where he could practice his craft has made an invaluable impact on his art and his dedication, being able to have set hours and things like that. So having that space available for youth to learn in that mentorship way and to have a space for people, I just think it would be an amazing addition to the community and really speak to accessibility, speak to availability, safety, all of those kinds of things. And I recognize that the library building is considerably more space than what we had at Creation Station, which is why I think there's real opportunity for collaboration with other organizations. I know there's a lot of talk about youth programming. How can that be accessed? And if the space is already being used a ton of the time with people in and out and all the rest, it also creates a space of safety for youth that might want to come into that space. Not every room has to be occupied all the time by the art gallery. There's certainly room for that type of collaboration to make those types of spaces. And those are the kind of dreams we like to dream, is how do we fit in? How do we impact the larger community? And visual arts is a piece of that, but we would like to work with other organizations to make things happen and do dramatic things that are exciting. And that's as far as the planning goes, but it does require a building. Mhm.
Thanks, Nicole. Councillor Leonard.
I'm just going to echo Councillor Buchama's comments. When I saw that you were a delegation of tonight's meeting, I giggled a bit, and it's just a testament to your passion for art. So I appreciate that as you're going out the door, that you're here presenting for the space. So I wish you well. Good luck.
Thanks, Councillor Leonard. Councillor Elliott.
I also will echo what everyone else is saying. Thank you for your service. And arts and culture is a huge part of Smithers. I know that. I lived here 30 years, and everyone around this table knows that is really important to us. And I appreciate the work that you've done and passing that along as you go. Thank you.
Councillor Ray.
Yeah, I want to echo everybody else, and I want to thank you for when things didn't go the way you wanted to, for responding in a positive manner and keeping things moving forward. I think that's awesome. It's good to see Jenna stepping into the role. Jenna, this is your only meeting you're allowed to be nervous though, so you have to talk like that next time. Thanks again, Nicole.
Thanks, Councillor Ray. I'm just going to echo it too. Nicole, it's been a long time, it feels like, that you've been working toward bigger and better projects. And I think, you know, there's been a transformation, and sometimes the smaller pieces go unnoticed. But if you think back to when you got here and what the gallery looked like and what the programming was and all the things that happened and all the big dreams, and some of them, lots of them we didn't achieve. However, yeah, thanks for your energy. And I am certainly going to wish you all the best, and you better pop back up here every now and then and say hi. Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you, everyone.
And you can stay with us for the whole evening, or you can have your evening back.
I'm going to go home. I have packing to do. Yeah.
All right, take care. All righty. We have no one else in the gallery, so I'm going to skip on past the next couple of items. And we have item 8.1, the minutes from August 12th, a motion to approve, please. Councillor Leonard, Councillor Elliott, any errors or omissions? All in favor? Any opposed? And that's carried. And we're going to move to council reports. Councillor Buchama.
Thank you, Mayor Attrell. First of all, the visitor center report is there for information. I just wanted to highlight one part of the report, which was called All Hands on Deck, which I think is a reminder of how busy the visitor center can be at certain seasons of the summer. Secondly, another very successful fall fair, and I want to just thank all those in our community who helped make it a possibility. I know there's hundreds of volunteers who helped make the fall fair such a success. Thirdly, I have driven out to Telqua twice in the last week, and it's exciting to see some of the Cycle 16 work progressing. And then not lastly, I've taken up biking this summer, and it's really encouraging to see all the paving that's been happening. And I've heard a lot of positive comments from residents just about all the paving that's been done. And just kudos to Mr. Allen's department too, because I think the streets you chose were the ones that were in really rough shape, and they're looking a lot better, including the one right in front of my house, if I was to be honest. And then lastly, I don't bring this up to rehash anything, but I've been thinking a lot about the protected bike lane the last 2 weeks, and I've had some communication with Mr. Kindrat too. And I want to just publicly acknowledge that those are really tough decisions for us as council. I don't know if others of you felt the same way, but when you have one large, really well-intentioned group that wants one thing for our town, and another large, well-intentioned group that wants the opposite, it's tough for us as councillors to make those decisions. And I've kind of felt the weight of that decision the last couple of weeks. I know in my 7 years of being a councillor, every once in a while, you just get one of those issues that comes up where you know the town is kind of divided, and those are tough. And I don't know, I just feel like the decision we made has kind of weighed heavily on me the last couple of weeks. And I just want to acknowledge that and acknowledge, yeah, those are just not easy decisions for us as councillors to make. And I see a few head nods around the horseshoe. And in other words, I'm not the only one feeling that way. And that's it for my report. Thank you, Mayor Attrell.
Thanks, Councillor Buikema. Yeah, I'll acknowledge that sometimes things are hard, and thank you for bringing that to the table. I think, it's sometimes not noticed and easy not to notice when you're just hearing what the words are said. So thank you for that. And I just wanted to say your comments on the paving, for the reasons that you cited, it's the second time today. I had someone this morning stop me and say, it's really great. So thanks. And I'm just going to take this moment to say, yay, RBA dollars, Resource Benefit Alliance dollars are helping. So I'll get that plug in while I can. Any questions for Councillor Buikema? Then Councillor Elliott.
Thank you, Mayor. You see attached in the agenda, the library report. There was no meeting in July. There was a meeting in August. You can see all the awesome programs the libraries continues to put on. But I will draw your attention to the summer reading club and a certain person who ran that this summer, Jen Mio. So she's a relative of mine. And she had 197 kids at the 3 to 12 summer reading club. So she was very busy this summer. She did a great job. I heard lots of good reviews about it. And I just want to thank her for doing that great program. But there's lots of other ones as well that could be mentioned, but I'm not going to take up that time. And then I was glad that our agenda wasn't so huge, because I didn't have a whole lot of time to read it this weekend because I'm a grandpa now. So I was taken up in the frenzy. So you can congratulate me later. Thank you. I was at the fall fair too, and it was really great. I only spent maybe one evening there, but the weather cooperated. And I know that Saturday night, there was a lot of people there. So it was a well-attended event. Again, it's a great part of our valley and our culture for sure.
Thanks, Councillor Elliott. And I think you can feel the congratulations coming your way and for your family. So that's very exciting news. Councillor Leonard.
Just the Minerals North Organizing Committee minutes are there for your information. And I also attended the fall fair. Great event. And yeah, I think the weather just brought a ton of people out, which is awesome. Was great to see Friday and Saturday night. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you. And Counselor Patterson.
Thank you, Your Worship. Nothing to report, but I did have a question specific to the Minerals North Conference. Is this an appropriate time to ask that question or shall I wait? Is that okay? So I noticed that the committee was exploring opportunities for discussion. And there was two comments I just wanted to make. Is one is I was wondering if we could highlight specifically the Northwest and any opportunities that folks see and how we could support that. And then the second was just, I'm not sure if Newmont would be willing to talk about just their exceptional mine rescue response, but I just thought that would be an incredible opportunity to maybe highlight some of the lessons learned. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we can take that to the meeting, but I'm just a little unclear on your first point.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just about mining in the Northwest. So how we can support that, just recognizing that it'll be in the Northwest region. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Counselor Patterson. And I'm listening because I'm going to be chairing that meeting, knowing that Counselor Leonard is not able to chair that meeting. So I'm keyed into your comments as well. Okay, Counselor Raven.
So apologies that I did not get my report done in time. I am going to totally say because of the BVX, but so on August the 15th, I attended the Access Smithers meeting. It was mostly about the placement of the leading rail and bench at Willowvale Marsh, and then just some other more housekeeping things. Attended the special open on the 19th. And then since that meeting was done so quickly, I was able to make it to the Smithers Citizens on Patrol meeting. I haven't made it to one of theirs in a while. And it was really good to hear that they're doing about 2 patrols a week right now. And they have about 12 dedicated volunteers that are showing up consistently. Then on the 20th, Mayor Attrell and Deputy Mayor Ray were unavailable for the meeting with the update from Emergency Management and Climate Readiness. It was actually quite an incredible meeting. I learned a lot. Lots of slides very quickly, but just seeing the tracking for the water and drought levels, and then also the provincial response to wildfire. It was a lot of information packed into a very short meeting. And then also just showing the changes in our climate, because we actually had a tornado warning, not us locally, but in the region, though that was quickly downgraded to a severe storm warning, but that's something that hadn't occurred in that area before. And then just like everyone else around the table, BVX was just fantastic. And just want to do a special shout out to our volunteer fire department and the emergency support services. So I was down for the whole weekend. And especially when the heat was at its peak, you saw a lot of people kind of rushing around and taking care of people that might not have been quite as hydrated or have worn their hats and sunscreen and stayed out of the heat. So they were dealing with it in a fantastically professional way. And lastly, I will mention that for Nicole Chernish, the art gallery manager, there is a going away event at the art gallery tomorrow from 4 till 6.
Thanks, Counselor Raven. Where am I? Counselor Ray? Oh, sorry, Counselor Buikema.
Just a quick question for Councillor Raven. Is that event open to anyone?
Yeah, it's a public event. It's at the art gallery. We would love to pack the house.
Okay, thank you.
Counselor Ray.
Nothing to report other than while I was at the fair with my granddaughter, that I had a chance to stop in and chat with Ellis Ross and MLA Hartwell's assistants. And just wanted to let you know that I kind of mentioned, oh, it'd be nice if we could get together, and they're actually both waiting for us to reach out to them. So if that's something that we wanted to do, I don't have a motion prepared, but we'd obviously have to have some kind of agenda from council, but they're waiting for our invitation.
With my mic on, sorry about that. Thanks, Counselor Ray. That's a good reminder. I thought we had sort of talked about that, but we will now for sure. Thanks. Okay. Thanks, folks. A few things. I was sort of doing some entertaining with family the last couple of weeks as well, but still sort of a regular role of meetings, sort of last 2 weeks, a couple of events with the Regional District of Alpena with a board meeting. And then also went to the board and staff, like the staff support thing. And it is actually a really nice thing. People may have seen the shutdown notices for all regional district facilities for last Thursday. So once a year, every staff member is able to come. And because the regional district extends from the other side of Vanderhoof to the other side of Smithers, and then points north and south, it's an effort to get all the staff into one building. So they do some presentations and the board makes lunch for good or for bad. And the staff back themselves up by ordering some good food from some caterers, and then we do some of it. But it was a really nice event, you know, and it's a big staff and they don't get to see each other if you work in the Smithers area and then you work out north of Vanderhoof. People don't connect at the coffee shop, right? So it was really a nice event. Like the rest of you, spent some time at the fair. I had the pleasure of being invited to the grand entry of the rodeo, which is sort of a funny thing, but it's fun to be able to do. And noticed the amazing work by the volunteers. You've commented on it, but you know, I think I checked just before the fair and the numbers historically at the fair were somewhere between 22 and 25,000. And considering our population, to get that number of people rolling through the gate is astonishing, and they pull it off year after year. So kudos to the fair organizers and every event under there, because there's more volunteers than I can probably count, and it was really quite lovely. Also had a regional hospital district meeting a week or so ago in Terrace, and that was really sort of lining us up for prep for UBCM. And I saw today, I'm asked Mr. Dewar about it, the UBCM confirmations are starting to roll in. So we'll learn soon what we're able to do during that week. There will also be some RBA events during UBCM week as well. And in our 18s, you can see the letter from Mayor Dahl from Campbell River. I did a phone meeting with him and some of his staff as he's talking about the strengthening resource communities. So I don't have a really solid feel about how that's going to go, but you'll see it on the UBCM. The events attached to UBCM, it's not part of UBCM. I will be participating at UBCM in a workshop on local elected mental health. Councillor Brian Frankel from Vanderhoof has been leading this for the last couple of years. And there are meetings that have been going on for the last year that I've been participating in. So there'll be a workshop, you know, similar to what we've seen at NCLGA and UBCM in the last year. So with this year though, with a now what versus, you know, how people have been affected, but what do we do? And I just wanted to note too, because I often notice when I'm unhappy. So I wanted to take a note, and just through Mr. Dewar, Mr. Lawrence isn't here, and I'm hoping I remember, but if we could just send a thank you over to the Works Department, just say how amazing downtown is looking. The gardens are spectacular, the colors are amazing, and I've been getting lots of feedback from people who are popping into town saying how amazing it looks. So in case I forget, I just wanted to say that out loud. They've been working hard and it shows. And one more thing. We have a new person sitting at the table, and I wanted to introduce folks to Trevin Muscat. Welcome. Trevin is our new airport manager and is joining us so that we can meet him this evening. And with that, hopefully someone has shown you how to operate the microphone, and just welcome you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you, whatever you're willing. No dark secrets.
Perfect. Thank you, Mayor Attrell, and good evening to you all, council and fellow staff members. Yes, I am, as of yesterday, new into the role, but have been working at the airport for the last 6 months as part of the maintenance team. Have been fortunate enough to meet some of the staff over there, get a sense of operations, and also get the lay of the land in terms of the airport and what's going on. My background is in geomatics, in remote sensing, and in aviation. And specifically, I've been involved in managing an aerial survey company for the last 10 years down in Vancouver, whom, funny enough, one of their aircraft showed up at about 5:30 this evening, and I was quite pleased to give the crew a lift into town, show them around a little bit. I've also been involved in helping to run a flight school. I've got a passion for aviation, got my private pilot's license, And I'm closely tied to aviation, both in my wife, who is a lifelong aviator and actually flew for Hawk Air and was based out of Smithers years ago. And just kind of the tight network and circles that aviation thrives on. Having moved to Smithers about 6 months ago, I am delighted to be part of this community. It is a beautiful place to call home and plenty of opportunities for recreation and enjoyment. I'm really looking forward to taking on my new role as the airport manager. I'm fortunate enough to have Rob transfer some of his hard-earned knowledge and wisdom to me in some overlap. And I'm looking forward to working with town and council to improve, to look for more opportunities, to network, and to continue to build our airport as a strong hub for our northern community. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thanks for the introduction. Much appreciated. And I'm sure we'll see you at this table as we go forward. Usually the table gets pretty stacked as we get into budget meetings. So everybody has their moment. But thank you and welcome. We look forward to working with you. And I'm not sure if Mr. Dewar told you you had to stay here all night, but I think you're welcome to join us all evening, and you're welcome to take your evening back as well, as you wish, unless Mr. Dewar told you you had to stay. All righty, thanks. Okay, where are we? We're moving to the 14s, unless I've missed something. So we have, first up 14.1 is the follow-up from the delegation with the recommendation for staff that we refer it back to staff. Councillor Raven, Councillor Elliott, any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? And that's carried. Thank you. Then in the items, we have 14.2, a letter from the Smithers 80s reunion, looking for a letter of support. Councillor Ray.
So moved.
And is there a seconder? Councillor Raven? Actually, Councillor Leonard needs to, no? Sorry, I saw the question. I'm going to let Councillor Raven second. Councillor Leonard, go ahead.
I'm on the organizing committee, so I'm wondering if I should be recusing myself. Okay.
Thank you. Sorry, I missed that. Alrighty, any questions or discussion? Councillor Patterson.
Just a question of just interest through to staff. When we get requests like this that are sort of social in nature, when we talk about participation as well under the discussion bullet, I was just curious, do we have a sense of what level of service that looks like? I was just curious. Is it high? Is it, yeah, I'm just curious. Thank you.
Sorry, could you maybe help me a little bit with that question?
For sure. So just coming off of recent orientation or training as council, we're talked a lot about like levels of service.
Mhm.
So I'm just trying to gain an understanding when we get social requests like this and we talk about coordinating with staff. So for example, the RCMP, fire department and staff, it says that it includes both direction and participation. So I was just trying to get a sense of when we talk about sort of competing priorities, what level of service would something like this look at? Is it low, medium, high?
I think it's hard or difficult to say the exact level of service because the question would, in that context would become, compared to what? In terms of the level of service that we offer as the town of Smithers, we have a special events bylaw which regulates the types and size of events that require special events permits. And through those special events permits, the town works with and coordinates police, police, public works, fire, and other community resources to make sure that we are prepared for that for those events. Certainly, the types of support and coordination between those organizations can always be improved, and we can always find better ways to support and deliver those events.
Thank you very much.
Councillor Buchanan.
Thank you, Mayor Attrell. I'm not opposed to this event in any way, but because I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun, but just a question through to staff. Is it odd for us to write a letter of support for an event when the guidelines say it should be limited to 150 people and can't be in more than 24 hours in duration. And we know there's going to be 2,000 and it's going to be 3 days in duration. Is that an issue for us?
Thank you very much, and through the chair. In this context, I would say it's not improper. It's up to the decision of council as to what they would like to support. The Agricultural Land Reserve has established a process by which organizations can provide letters of support for different types of activities on agricultural reserve land. And at the end of the day, the ALR would look at the different impacts, benefits, and assorted trade-offs in addition to the types of community support that are that's being received, and come to a determination that they believe is the most justifiable in the context. In terms of our role, the question in part to put before council is, are those trade-offs something that is deserving of a letter of support?
That's helpful. Thank you very much.
Councillor Ray.
Well, I think of all the kinds of community events that we've had. The 2012, I believe it was, event that 13 that you organized brings back so many former Smithereens visiting present Smithereens. I think this is really the kind of thing that the council should want to support.
Thanks, Councillor Ray. All right, ready? All in favor? Any opposed? And that's carried. Good, you got the motion there? It's good. Okay, good. All righty. Recommendation was supported, Councillor Leonard. Okay, then we are at 14.3 for Mr. Allen on the Bulkley River Erosion Protection Contract Award with a recommendation. Councillor Ray, Councillor Bucama, that was moving and seconding. Okay. And discussion? Anything you wanted to add, Mr. Allen?
Just long overdue.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. Okay, Councillor Ray and then Councillor Bucama.
I was just wondering if Mr. Allen could speak a bit to the future work that goes with this around Seymour Creek. How far up the creek would that go? And I take it comes out of our remaining budget. Sorry, I hate doing this, but I'm going to do it anyway. And a follow-up question to that is, are we expected to have to do similar things for phase 1 and 2 as well?
Mr. Allen.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Atchell, to Council Ray. The distance hasn't been completed yet, but it does include the replacement of the upper culvert that goes down to the road down to the fairgrounds from the top of the hill, the alternate access. So it does include up to that culvert at this point. There's still final, like I said in the report, it's still being finalized, and it still requires final approval by Fisheries and Oceans. It will include the equivalent area required to complete phase sites 1 and 2 for the future erosion protection works. So we're making sure that this one offsetting location will be adequate, and we've received initial approval from Fisheries and Oceans for that.
Councillor Ray and then Councillor Bucama.
And I just wanted to thank you for the works behind the scenes. I know I've gotten pretty impatient on this file, and I'm glad to see it coming to fruition. So thanks to you and staff for the work.
Councillor Bucama.
Really happy to see this project moving forward, and also really happy to see that the work will be done by a local company. Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Bucama. All right, all in favor? Any opposed? And that's carried. All right. 15.1, the municipal markers for May. Any comments or questions? I just have one. I think I know the well, I have a couple comments on the municipal markers, and just we're just behind just because of it just feels like we're a little bit behind on the municipal markers. Mr. Schroeder, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Yes, you are correct. We are definitely behind on municipal markers. The big challenge for us has been clerical staff capacity. We've had a number of transitions this year, and a lot of the impacts are on the data collection for the purposes of the survey. So some of the inputting from some of those functions, and in addition, for a while it was the actual staff to create the document. So we're certainly working on that and trying to get caught up for the summer in the next month or so here.
Okay, thank you. Then probably just a couple of comments. Comment to Ms. LeBlanc, because you're here. So I looked through the social media increase and I realize it's May and it's probably better by now, but I wrote down nice a couple of times. So great work increasing the following, and the work that I see looks really great. So thank you for that. Because Mr. Allen is here, he might know, I was looking through like the building permit stuff. Do you know how we're doing like now? Do you know that anecdotally, if we're sort of doing okay for building, like by okay, I mean, is it a good year for building permits? Mr. Allen?
I would say it's an average year. Yeah, yeah. There have been a few additional permits, at least I would say 10 since the May report. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And I did notice, and it's, Councillor Ray, you just sort of commented on it on big events. And on, this is on page 10 of the report, or 62 of 121, and looking at the airport numbers and seeing that in May 2024, there's quite a little bump there, and recalling May of 2024 was the NCLJ conference. So sort of those big kind of shoulder season events do make a difference, and we're trying to make sure that we have good numbers out of the airport. So, as we work ahead toward Minerals North, et cetera, like those are really great things to happen. And I had another for the fire, but I'll wait until next time and then see if the trends continue when the chief is at the meeting, but thanks. Anyone else on municipal markers? Okay. Then let's go straight to the 18s because we don't have any 17s. Is there anything you want to pull out of the 18s? Councillor Ray.
18-1, please.
18-1, Councillor Bukema. 18-4. That's right.
I just want to say, if anyone wants to discuss 18-6, I will recuse myself from that one.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, when we get there. Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Alrighty. Let's start at the top. I don't remember who it was who had 18-1. Councillor Ray.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting reading this to know that they wanted community leaders there and they scheduled it during UBCM. I was just wondering if some sort of reply nicely stating that that we would like to attend, but we're off advocating in Victoria.
Councillor Ray, you want a letter just sent back to them advising that?
I'll move that.
Okay,
please.
so Councillor Ray moves that there be a response advising it's UBCM. Is there a seconder? Councillor Raven seconds. Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? That's carried. Okay. Next up was 18-4. That was Councillor Bukema.
That was me. Thanks, Mayor Atwell. I found that letter, just very encouraging. And I think kudos to the staff at the campground. And it's good to see that the money we've invested in that campground is paying off. And I know I went for a walk through the campground once this summer too and talked with an elderly couple from Kamloops who are passing through Smithers, and they also spoke very highly of the campground and of the staff there. And I think it's good for, just for us to be reminded that we've got a campground that is serving visitors very well. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Bukema. I had those notes too, that I'll just echo that. I mean, our our works and ops staff, the community services staff, probably others that I don't know about. And then our contractor, you know, for folks who were able to go through the park with Michelle this year. There's a lot of enthusiasm and it shows, and the investment over time in the park is really showing as well. So I think we're very fortunate there, and it's nice. It is really nice to get a letter like that. And I think this came to us, so staff, the right staff have seen this already. I think it came to us. Yeah, perfect. Okay, great. Counselor Elliott, I'm gonna go to 18.6 next. And you're recusing because you work there? Okay. This probably is just a bit of a question, and because we have fewer staff here, I'm gonna ask Mr. Allen, is this something that would have come across your department's desk, whether or not we have comments? And I tried to kind of dig a little deeper, and I didn't have the fortitude to try to plot the actual lots into some sort of a map. I'm assuming this is their own property, but I don't actually know that. Do you know? Sorry, I'm just, Mr. Allen.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. My guess is that these are outside of the town boundary because there's very limited agricultural land within the town boundary, mostly down at the Fall Fairgrounds and at the base of Rosenthal Road in Undoler Flats. So that's my best guess, but no, staff did not receive a direct referral for this from West Fraser or the environment.
And just curious, you may know that the extension on the mill site that was the old mill, like, is that within town boundaries or is that ALR? Like, you know, the old Groot mill or the repap mill, it's part of the West Fraser property now, but is that in town or out of town?
It's within town, but it's, I believe it is excluded from ALR.
Okay, thanks. I'll try to dig in a little more. I was just curious about that.
Okay.
Okay. If there's no other questions, we can invite Counselor Elliott back. Thanks, Counselor Elliott. And I had highlighted 18.7, but I mentioned it earlier. Did anyone else mention that one or else? Okay, then I think we might be there. It's not quite a record, but it's close. All right, summertime meeting schedule, or summertime meeting agenda. Thanks to staff for putting it together and for joining us here tonight. And let's have a motion to adjourn. Counselor, why can't I remember your name? Counselor Raven, Counselor Elliott, all in favor, any opposed? And that's carried. And just a reminder to council, we'll just hang out to our roundtable. But we'll wait.